Let's take a trip back to 2012, a time when The Artist was Best Picture, that Gautier song was #1, Donald Trump's presidential campaign was still a hilarious joke, and Colorado residents were afraid legalizing marijuana would ruin their children.
I think the drawbacks are that younger kids and more kids are going to start smoking at an early age.
I think Denver public schools are not very good, and I think starting to smoke at an early age has affected that.
Adolescent marijuana use seems to be increasing. So I had to put the word seems in there. The state level data for those studies won't be available for years to come, probably about 3 years or so.
Well, weed in Colorado is now legal, the results are in, and teens aren't getting any higher. Experts believe legal weed on a federal level is like totally coming.
We have had 13 amendments approved in Congress or in committee in the last 2 years, moving forward marijuana reform.
At this point, it's not a matter of if, but when. 23 states have passed laws making medicinal and recreational weed legal in some situations, and 4 states, as well as Washington, D.C., have fully legalized recreational marijuana.
There's a new CBS News poll that shows more people now think pot should be legalized.
Public opinion is firmly behind it, and the federal government is finally considering rescheduling that sweet, sweet ganj. But what about the children? And no, I'm not talking about the group of the same name devoted to preventing the legalization of marijuana. I'm talking about children potentially getting increased access to a drug.
So we know that when you have something widely available, legalized like this, it's very difficult to keep it out of the hands of kids.
Well, a new poll by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment has found that marijuana use amongst high schoolers has actually dropped since the legalization. Before the tide of legalization began to rise like a puffy plume of dank kush smoke, the health and well-being of America's teens was one of the foremost arguments prohibitionists used against legalization.
After kids have used marijuana for about 6 months, they literally don't have any coping mechanisms.
But when it comes to increased marijuana use, it's not the teens people should be worried about.
Polling confirms that more and more Americans age 55 and up are using more and more marijuana.
This is real sweet stuff.
At this point, weed is becoming the new Facebook. For a time, it was a cool way to connect with like-minded people under the radar from elders. But now, even your grandma's on it.
Facebook is not cool. Facebook is not cool at all.
With arguments against marijuana fading and public opinion at an all-time high, there's not much in the way of federal marijuana legalization. Not to mention the fact that the industry is growing faster than any other in the country.
Predictions show the marijuana industry could bring in nearly $7 billion this year.
With sales like that, it's the people who oppose the drug who are starting to sound high. This is your mic check.